Welcome back to the regular corner. I decided back to the command central was the place to be this week. And greetings. Thanks for joining me once again on this weekly update thing that I've been doing for feels like an eternity. No, I'm just kidding. 2 years. So 2 years. Wow. Anyway, thanks. There's a lot to get to this week. It's not going to take very long. So this will be kind of a short video. Really, there weren't a lot of new releases this week. It's just the releases that we have are very high profile. So let me just first of all remind everybody that last week we got the first new Red Hot Chili Peppers album in years, and 16 years since John Frusciante was playing guitar with the band. My assessment, it's actually a pretty good record. I feel like it's kind of a chill version of the Chili Peppers. You know, they're sort of getting into their middle ages. Of course, if you look at the ages of rock stars lately, maybe it's the later ages. But yeah, I think it's sort of what you would expect. And there's a lot of really subtle playing on it. Actually, one of my friends actually texted me as he was listening to it and said the musicianship on this album is really good. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It kind of is actually. So I think John brings a certain element back, but really like Flea and Chad too. Everyone knows that Anthony's not the greatest singer. I think. I mean, not to knock him a peg, but I think that he brings so much character to his voice, and that's what people are looking for. And I would say you got to look up the lyrics for the song "Poster Child" because they're hysterical. So anyway, check it out if you haven't. This is a limited edition indie store color vinyl. I think they're already selling out. There have been many different versions of that album, and I had somebody actually say like, "Oh, there's one with a different cover," and I mean, are we entering Paul McCartney territory again? How many different versions of an album do there need to be? So, anyway, we'll have those for a little while. There's a gatefold version too on black vinyl. Then there's a regular version that's a little cheaper. So, choices. They're trying to give you lots of choices. I think the big news of this week, though, has to be the Tool Fear Inoculum box set. And this is something I've had people requesting Tool on vinyl for years now as things sort of went out of print and became unavailable. For a long time, I had Lateralis, I had Undertow, even Opiate, and those things gradually dried up and went away. And now people are like, oh, I should have bought those things when I saw them. Yes, this is exactly what we've been saying, is that especially with a band like Tool, it's sort of like limited editions are their thing. Special editions are their thing. Look, there's a lot of people griping about a price tag that's around 180 bucks. And actually in our store, we have like a rewards program. So really it's about $10 less, which is about the same as what you'd pay if you were on Amazon Prime. So first of all, this is what I kind of was mentioning last video when I was saying, why do people throw all their eggs in the Amazon basket or, pre-order all this stuff without sort of investigating sometimes first to see who else might have it? Because, you're supporting other people in the kind of infrastructure chain when you do that sort of thing, especially if it's the same thing that's available other places. I understand indie exclusive versus like Target exclusive and all that, and again, there you are in Paul McCartney territory. But yeah, so I mean, for about the same price, I don't really understand what the issue is. I mean, I know that's a lot of money for 5 records, and I think that they're all, well, I haven't opened it yet, and I probably won't because I'm not one of those people that's going to go out there and start doing a whole bunch of unboxing, opening videos because I feel sort of like that takes away the opportunity to unbox it from a customer of mine. And I don't have unlimited funds to be able to just do that for everything. Now, if it's something that I'm going to purchase for myself, I suppose that would be something different. But on that note, so I will not be unboxing this box, all right? I'm going to show you the box, though, just to prove that I've had it. It's the Tool Fear Inoculum box. There's a lot of reflection here. I'm sorry about that. It's a very reflective box. You can kind of see the density of it. Now, again, $180 might seem like a lot. If it was a band that I truly, truly loved and I wanted the album, I probably wouldn't care either. So you can see the passion of the fans that want this thing. I don't know how many more times this is going to be pressed. So again, as I've seen with other box sets of catalog records and stuff, sometimes you kind of need to like pay attention and buy it when you see it, because they can very easily dry up and then it becomes a flipper's market, and you'll see this probably for $500 in another year. So there's that. Plus, it's cheaper than spending the $800 on the autographed ones that they were selling at their shows. So there are, all sorts of caveats there. But do what you need to do, Tool fans. I've got a hefty amount of them right now. I sort of was planning on this, going, well, maybe I'll have enough to get me to Christmas. And even then, I don't know if I will. And so you might want to think about giving yourselves an early Christmas gift and putting it away until Christmas. I'm not trying to be like a used car salesperson here, but I think these are things to consider. Okay, enough of Tool. Another record that's kind of been sort of interesting to wait for is, and this kind of popped up out of nowhere, is a new King Gizzard album called Made in Timeland. And basically, this was kind of a surprise release. And some of these apparently made it out in Europe in the fall. But these were supposedly studio instrumental works that were going to be played at the openings of their shows in the fall. And I don't know if they actually were, but they're two 15-minute long tracks, one on each side. And it's not very expensive. It's like low 20s. But Made in Timeland. And so if you want a new King Gizzard, they do have another double album coming soon. So, yeah, I think they've gotten a little bit more sort of like measured with the studio time. They keep cranking out tons of live records, and I think people are starting to kind of back off on them a little bit just because there have been so many of them. So, a much hyped band this week, Wet Leg. Wet leg. Why is their leg wet? I don't want to know. Yeah. So, they've had some very high-profile singles already, been all over late-night TV and stuff, and it's getting really good reviews. They're saying, it's not a hype thing or anything like that. You see the track listing there. It's got Shay's Lounge, which is the first single that sort of caught people's attention. This is a limited transparent yellow edition for indie stores too. It also has Wet Dream, which was another single. Oh, and there's a song called Piece of Shit. Great. I mean, I think, my one friend said it reminded him of Elastica. I think that's sort of like maybe a slightly poppier version, but not like Elastica wasn't poppy. Another big release this week, Jack White. This is Fear of the Dawn, the first of 2 releases coming up. I kind of like this album cover. I like it much better than the one where he was sort of amorphous, and that album was... This one is supposed to be a full-on assault of guitar, and I think it's, supposed to be pretty intense. There's a guest appearance from Q-Tip, and it is pressed on limited edition astronomical blue colored vinyl. Knowing Jack White pressing it at third man, it probably looks really cool, and it'll probably blow your speakers out. So I got a million of them today, I guess. I don't know, but it just seems like he always brings an edgy factor, even 20 some years into that career now. An album that I heard and I really really enjoyed and is actually I've been looking forward to this is the new Father John Misty album. It's called Chloe and the Next 20th Century. Got to make sure I get that title right. Maybe that's Chloe down there. I don't know. It's like a Vegas showgirl. But yeah, I would say if you like Harry Nilsson, this is the album for you. It's basically like Harry Nilsson meets old Hollywood. And I think Josh has gone full on into the retro sort of sounding music. And it's really beautiful, actually. There's a lot of great orchestration on there. And it's not a typical rock record. Another record that I heard recently that I will talk about more when it comes out physical at the end of the month is the new Sandra Lerche album. His record called Avatars of Love is just absolutely stunning, fantastic. And it's ironic that the two of them come out about the same time because they share a lot of sensibilities about taking old, like the music of history, the Great American Songbook, and kind of modernizing them in a way. And so anyway, check out Father John Misty's record because it's quite good. Very well put together. Calexico are back with a new album, El Mirador. Always like their stuff. They've been really great. They sort of, I guess if you haven't heard them, their name sort of describes their sound in a way. It's kind of a mix of Tex-Mex, Mexican, Western, without going into country, slight electronic touches, but really great stuff. Still on Anti Records. It's a great cover, too. All right. The summer reissues. They've been around before, and it's just a new set of reissues of them. So I don't think that there have been many overhauls to the sound, but Bob Dylan bringing it all home. You get a little hype sticker now, and it is the stereo version. Same thing with Highway 61 Revisited. Another little hype sticker. Features like a Rolling Stone. And Blonde on Blonde gets a new reissue. New pressing. Rainy Day Women, 12 and 35, and I Want You. Yeah, this was a double, so, alright. Let's see. There were a couple of Nick Lowe's announced, and the only one that I saw come in is Dig My Mood so far. It's a great Nick Lowe record. What is it? 1998. So, one that was sort of hard to get on vinyl. Speaking of Nick Lowe, I thought I would show a couple of record store day things because I've started getting things already. And, it is 2 weeks from Saturday. Can you believe it? So mark your calendars, April 23rd, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd be out there by 6:30. I'm hoping the weather is better this time. It's been sort of cold and rainy throughout the whole first part of April, and next week they're starting to call mid-70s around here. So, and we have an awning and a long sidewalk, so you can at least get out of if there's rain or something like that. And then the parking is free around here too. I will say that we have a karate and a yoga place in the shopping area, and they've started getting a lot more clients. So parking sometimes can get a little crazy on Saturday morning, but most of the people will be here before those people show up. So they'll actually be the ones that will probably have to fight for their parking. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I was speaking of Nick Lowe, though, but here's Nick Lowe again, Wireless World. This might be the first time it's shown to the world. I don't know. But yeah, it sort of has his Jesus of Cool cover. It says it combines the US and UK track listing of his polyonymous debut solo album on green dustbin splatter vinyl. So I think Nick fans will be wanting that. And then I just picked a couple of like hip hoppy kind of things that I saw that looked really cool. Czarface, Carnage Doom. I mean, the cover art is insane. Looks very cool. And, well, I think most people sort of know this has, what am I trying to say? Wu-Tang connections. It's called, Zarmageddon. Sorry, is the name. I don't know if I said that. Zarmageddon. Okay. Let's see. There's a, Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino, Don, is very, very popular. One of my biggest sellers in hip hop. This is the first time this record's been on vinyl. It's called Kawaii, and it's with Jaden Smith as the boy. Well, what an interesting week to be a Will Smith child. Anyway, it's sort of an EP. There's 7 tracks. Not very expensive, really, for what it is. Yeah, first time on vinyl. Going back a little bit, Everlast. Whitey Ford Sings the Blues. I think most people, if they heard the song What It's Like, they probably would know this immediately. Yeah, this is a Tommy Boy classic for all you Tommy Boy Records fans. And another one that I really enjoyed back in the day, and I say back in the day, like, you know, hip, was Handsome Boy Modeling School, the debut record featuring Prince Paul and Dan the Automator. And, well, Prince Paul was under the name Chest Rockwell, and Dan the Automator was Nathaniel Merriweather, which I showed. That album came out recently too, and most of them are gone already. And that was called Lovage, and it featured Mike Patton of Faith No More. This has 1 million guest stars on it. I'm trying. Biz Markie was on it. The names, they've got them all printed really small. Anyway, you might want to just go look this up on the internet if you have not heard this, but it is a hip-hop classic. When I was working in a different store at the time and we sold CDs, we sold a ton of that record to all of the cool people who knew what good hip-hop was. So it wasn't just a super massive hit, but it definitely had a cult following. So, okay. Well, that's really all I had to go over today. I did want to say there are a bunch of things that were sort of delayed and I didn't show them. We have not yet received Daniel Rawson of Grizzly Bear. There's a Prince Paul, another record, Foster the People reissue, and Alessia Cara's album. Those are still on the way. Ones that they don't seem to have arrived yet are Orville Peck, the Encanto soundtrack, More of the Monkeys, the new Run Out Groove expanded edition, Mondo Cosmo, or the Toy Matinee reissue, and then getting bumped to April 22nd, Record Store Day weekend, the Shout Out Louds, which has been bumped numerous times for the physical, and Tame Impala's Slow Rush box set. And then Paramore got bumped to May 6th. All We Know Is Falling, the colored vinyl reissue of that. So I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. Here I am at about 20 minutes again. I rattled off a bunch of information today, so I'm sorry about the lighting. It's just what it is. Thank you for watching this. All right, and take care. Have a great weekend, and have a great Easter or holiday if you do that. And keep keep you posted on hours and stuff on the Facebook page and whatever. And as Record Store Day stuff starts coming in, I'll throw more pictures out there too, and show you a really expanded video probably next week when more of that rolls in. All right, take care. Thanks very much. Peace.